A low gold sun is lying on the rim of the world, and it will not rise again for months. This is the far north at the turning of the year, an endless country of snow, stretching blue and silent in every direction, growing bluer as the light fails. The cold out there is vast and clean and still. Nothing hurries, nothing calls. The whole white land is settling in for the one great night of winter, the longest night on earth. This is the very top of the world, the far frozen north, where the winter is one long unbroken night. The snow lies deep and blue, and the stars never leave the sky. We will do nothing there at all, only rest and watch and drift, while the great white silence closes gently around us. It is bitter cold out on that ice, but here, wrapped warm beneath your blankets, you could not be safer. You do not have to keep any of it, not the snow, not the ice, not the quiet creatures of the cold. Just let it move softly past you in the dark, while you sink down towards sleep. There is nothing here you must stay awake to see, and no far place you have to reach. If you drift off somewhere out on the still white plain, beneath the slow green fire of the sky, that is exactly as it should be. The frozen world will keep its long, patient watch without you, turning under the stars while you sleep. Feel your shoulders let go at last. Feel your hands grow loose and warm. The bed is holding all of you, and the dark has drawn its quiet close on every side. There is nowhere to go and nothing to do but rest. So let that great white silence gather you up and carry you down. Picture it now with me. Picture a wide, white land, rolling away in every direction, softer than any blanket, whiter than any page. There are no trees here, only the snow, and the low round hills of it, and the pale sky above. The air is cold and clean and utterly silent. There is no wind tonight, no sound at all, except the small soft crunch of the snow, settling somewhere far off. You are warm inside your coat, and the cold cannot reach you. It only makes the world feel clean. This is the Arctic, the far north of the world, the frozen cap at the top of everything, where the land runs out into a sea that freezes hard as stone. It is one of the wildest, emptiest, most beautiful places there is. And a great change is coming to it now, tonight, a change that comes only once a year. The sun is about to set, and when it sets tonight, it will not rise again for a very long time. Look to the south, low over the snow. There it is, the sun, huge and round and pale gold, resting almost on the horizon, giving no heat at all. It has hung low in the sky all day, rolling along the edge of the world, never climbing high. And now, slowly, it begins to sink. You watch it slide down, softly, into the white line, where the snow meets the sky. Half of it now, and now just a sliver. And now, it is gone. And that is the last of the sun. Not just for tonight, but for weeks and weeks to come. For here at the top of the world, when winter deepens, the sun sinks below the horizon and simply stays there, hidden, circling somewhere, just out of sight. They call it the polar night, a single night that lasts for months. The long, blue, star-filled winter of the far north has begun, and we have come to drift through it, gently, all the way to the returning light. Do not be troubled by the dark. This is not a fearful dark. It is soft and slow and full of quiet wonders. The snow itself seems to hold the light, glowing faintly blue, so that even without the sun, you can see for miles across the still white land. The stars will come, the moon will come, and the sky itself will begin to burn with a slow green fire that you will hardly believe is real. The polar night is not empty. It is only resting. Feel how quiet it is here, how still, the kind of stillness you can almost hear, a deep soft silence that settles over everything and asks nothing of you. In this cold, clean country, there is no rush. There is no clamour. There is only the snow and the sky, and the slow turning of the long night, and the few brave, quiet creatures who have made this frozen world their home, and who are settling now, like you, into the deep rest of winter. High overhead, a single dark bird crosses the paling sky, a raven, black against the blue, calling once, a deep soft croak that carries far in the cold, still air. The raven does not leave when the winter comes. It stays all through the long night, clever and calm and at home in the cold, riding the dark wind, watching over the white land. You hear its call fade away into the distance, and then the silence closes back over the world, deeper than before. Let that silence settle over you now, soft and vast and kind. There is nothing out here that means you any harm. There is only the great white quiet, and the coming stars, and the long night stretching out ahead, full of rest. Feel your breathing slow to match the slowness of this place. In and out, soft and deep and calm. The whole north is settling down to wait out the winter, and you are settling with it, down into the warm dark of sleep. So take one more slow breath now, here at the edge of the frozen world, as the last light drains from the sky, and let us begin to drift softly out across the snow into the long blue dusk of the polar night. There is no cold that can touch you, no distance you must walk. This is a journey for the mind, and the mind travels warm and light and free. Let us go gently then into the north and into the deepening dark. For a long while after the sun has gone, the world does not turn black. It turns blue. This is the strange and lovely gift of the polar night. A long, slow twilight that lingers for hours, for whole days. A deep and dreaming blue that fills the sky and pools in the hollows of the snow. It is the softest light in all the world. Painters have chased it for centuries and never quite caught it. And here it lies all around you, free and endless and calm. The snow drinks in this blue light and gives it back, so that the whole land glows faintly from below, as if it were lit by some soft lamp buried deep beneath the ice. The rounded drifts, the frozen hills, the far white plain, all of it shining with that dim and dreaming blue. There are no hard shadows here, no harsh edges. Everything is soft and rounded and gentle, sculpted by the wind into slow, smooth curves that the blue light rolls across like water. It is a light with no source you can point to. The sun is far below the world's edge, and yet its memory lingers scattered across the sky, staining the south, a deep dusky rose, fading up through violet into blue, into the darker blue where the first stars are already burning. You could watch this sky for hours and never see it hurry. It changes, but slowly. So slowly, the way a sleeping face changes, softly, from one gentle expression to the next. And even now, in what should be the middle of the day, the stars are out. For in the polar night, there is no true day to hide them. They wheel slowly overhead, through all the long blue hours, patient and bright, and countless in a sky so clean and clear and far from any other light that they seem close enough to touch. The old star pictures hang there, the ones your grandparents knew, the ones the first people of the north steered by, turning slowly around the still point of the North Star. There is one light up there that never moves, the North Star, the pole star, sitting almost exactly over the top of the world, over the very place where you are standing now. All the other stars wheel slowly around it through the night, but that one holds still, a fixed and faithful point in the turning dark. For thousands of years, travelers lost in the cold looked up and found that star, and knew which way was home. Let it hold steady over you now, quiet and constant, while you rest. The cold out here is deep, but it is clean, and where you are, it cannot reach you. It has done a strange and beautiful thing to the world. It has made the very air sparkle. On the coldest, stillest nights, The moisture in the air freezes into tiny floating crystals of ice, so fine you can barely see them, and they drift down slowly through the blue, catching what little light there is, glinting and turning like a slow fall of diamond dust. They even have a name for it here: diamond dust. Imagine standing in that slow shimmer of floating ice in the deep blue quiet, with the stars above and the glowing snow below, and the whole world holding its breath. Nothing moves but the drifting crystals, turning gently as they fall. There is no sound at all. This is one of the most peaceful places a person can be, this blue and silent heart of the polar night. And you are standing in it now, warm and safe, letting its deep calm soak slowly into you. Let your breathing grow as slow and soft as that falling ice. There is nowhere you need to be tonight. Nothing you need to reach. You can let go of every hurry you have ever carried and simply stand here in the blue and breathe and be still. The polar night has all the time in the world, months and months of it, and it is offering that time to you now, freely. Time to rest, time to slow, time to sink gently into the deep quiet of the north. Far across the snow, a low white shape is moving, round and soft and pale as the drifts themselves. It lopes a little way and stops and sits up and grows still. It is an Arctic hare, larger than the hares of warmer lands, with fur as white as the snow, and small dark eyes, and ears laid flat against its back to keep in the warmth. It sits perfectly still in the blue light, a soft white shape against the soft white snow, almost impossible to see. When the deep cold comes, these hares will sometimes gather together, dozens of them, pressed into a single warm white drift of bodies, sharing their heat against the freezing dark. But this one sits alone for now, calm and unbothered, nibbling at a stem of frozen plant it has dug from beneath the snow. It is built for this world, wrapped in its thick white coat, at home in the cold, the way you are at home in your warm bed. It does not fear the winter. It simply wears it. You watch it sit there, soft and round and still, its nose twitching gently at the cold, clean air. And then, without any hurry, it settles down into the snow, tucking its paws beneath it, lowering its ears, becoming little more than a low white mound in the blue, resting, waiting out the dark, as everything here waits out the dark. Let it rest there in your mind, that soft white shape in the snow, and feel yourself grow as still, and as settled, and as calm. The land is full of such quiet resters tonight, tucked away in the snow, warm inside their coats and their burrows, waiting for the light. You do not need to find them all. Just know that they are there, all around you in the blue dark, each one soft and safe and still. The whole north is a great white bed tonight, and everything in it is lying down to rest, and you are lying down with it, warm and heavy and held, drifting deeper with every slow breath. Let us drift a little lower now, closer to the snow, into the small quiet world of the creatures that live upon it. Here is a bird, plump and round and white, walking slowly across a drift on feathered feet. A ptarmigan. In summer it wears brown and grey to hide among the rocks and plants. But now, for the winter, it has turned completely white, every feather, so that it seems to be made of snow itself. A soft white bird, walking on a soft white land. Even its feet are feathered, right down to the toes, like small, warm boots of down, so that it can walk across the softest snow without sinking, and never feel the cold. And when the night grows deepest, and the wind begins to blow, the ptarmigan does a wonderful thing. It dives, head first, straight down into the soft, deep snow, and lets it close, gently, over the top of it, and roosts there, buried, in a small, warm hollow, sheltered from the wind, hidden and warm beneath the white. Think of that to sleep, buried in the snow, in a small, soft cave of your own making. while the wind blows harmlessly over your head. The snow, which seems so cold, is full of tiny pockets of trapped air, and those pockets hold in the warmth, so that under the surface it is far warmer than the biting air above the whole of the north knows this secret. And all through the long night, countless creatures are sleeping warm beneath the snow, while the cold wind passes over and finds them not at all. Beneath the snow, there is a whole hidden world, a soft, dim, secret layer between the frozen ground below and the wind-blown surface above, where the cold cannot reach, and where small lives carry on all winter long. And moving through it now, in tunnels no wider than your finger, is one of the smallest and busiest creatures of the north, a lemming, a little round, golden, brown rodent, no bigger than your fist, trotting along its snowy corridors in the warm, dim dark, nibbling the frozen grasses, never seeing the sky. The lemming does not sleep the winter away. It stays awake all through the long night, deep in its warren beneath the snow, in a hidden world of soft white tunnels and small, warm nesting chambers lined with grass. Up above, the wind howls and the stars burn and the great cold presses down. But down here, under the snow, the lemming is warm and safe and busy, going about its small, quiet life as if the winter were nothing at all. And in a way, to the lemming, it is nothing at all. So much of life in the north is like this, hidden and patient and quietly enduring, carrying on out of sight beneath the snow and the ice, waiting for the light to come again. You do not have to understand it all. Just feel the deep truth of it settling over you now, that even in the longest, coldest, darkest night, life goes gently on. Warm things sleep in warm places. The dark does not last forever, and rest, deep and safe and patient, is the wisest thing there is. Moi, say, moith, voici, mois. Hunting through that hidden world tonight is a small, fierce shadow, slipping down the lemming tunnels like water, an ermine, a stoat in its winter coat, its fur turned pure white for the season, save for the very tip of its tail, which stays black. It is long and slender and quick, small enough to follow the lemmings and the voles right into their burrows beneath the snow. It flows through the white tunnels in the dark, a ribbon of white on white, warm-blooded, and wide awake in the deep of the winter night. It is a hunter, yes, but there is no cruelty in it, only the old necessity of the cold. It must eat to keep its small, fierce body warm, for a creature so slender loses heat quickly, and the winter is long. So it hunts and it feeds, and then it curls into a stolen burrow, wrapping that long white body into a tight, warm ball, its black tip tail across its nose, and it sleeps. Even the hunter rests, even the fiercest small heart of the north lies down, in the end, to sleep. And here, deep in a burrow, beneath the frozen ground, is a creature that has taken rest further than any other, an Arctic ground squirrel. It is curled into a tiny ball, cold and still, so deep in its winter sleep that it seems almost gone for this small creature. Does something almost unbelievable. It lets its whole body grow colder than freezing, colder than ice. Its heart slowing to a beat every few seconds. Its breath almost stopped, and it sleeps like that, frozen and dreaming, for month after month. It is the deepest sleep in all the animal world. The little squirrel lies there, curled and cold, its body barely ticking over, waiting out the entire winter in a single, long, dreamless rest, and it will not stir. Not once, until the light and the warmth come flooding back in the spring. Then it will wake, slowly, and shiver its blood warm again, and climb up into the sunlight, as if it had only closed its eyes for a moment. Let that deep, safe, perfect rest be yours tonight. For you too can let go now, as completely as the sleeping squirrel. You do not have to hold on to anything. You do not have to stay half awake, half watching, half worrying. You can let your whole self grow still and heavy and warm, and sink all the way down into a deep and dreamless rest, and trust, as the squirrel trusts, that the morning will come, and the warmth will come, and you will wake in your own good time, exactly as you should. Feel how far down you have already drifted, out here in the soft blue dark, the snow beneath you, the stars above you, the whole quiet north, settling into its long winter sleep all around you. There is nothing you need to do now, where you need to go. Only this slow drifting, this deep letting go, this gentle sinking into rest. Let us drift on a little further, softly, across the glowing snow, and see who else is out here, keeping the long slow watch of the winter night. Out of the blue dark, ahead of us, rises a low dark shape, large and still and shaggy, standing alone on a windswept rise, where the snow has blown clear of the frozen ground. As we drift closer, it becomes a great animal, heavy and ancient, with a huge, low head and a thick fall of dark hair that hangs almost to the snow. A muskox, one of the oldest creatures of the north, a shaggy survivor from the age of ice, standing calm and unmoved in the freezing dark. The muskox has walked this frozen world since the days of the mammoths. When the great ice sheets covered half the earth, the muskox was here, and when the ice drew back, it stayed up in the cold north, unchanged, enduring. Beneath that long dark outer hair, it wears a second coat, an underwool softer, and warmer than almost anything else in the world, so fine and so warm that it can stand through the fiercest blizzard, caked in snow, and never feel the cold reach its skin. It does not run from the winter, it does not hide. It simply stands and faces it and endures, chewing its cud of frozen grass, its warm breath rising in slow clouds into the dark. And when the wind rises to a howl and the snow drives sideways through the black night, a herd of muskox will gather together and stand in a tight, warm ring, shoulder to shoulder, heads outward, and simply wait the storm out, hour after hour, patient as the stones, warm in the shelter of each other. There is something deeply steadying in that, a circle of great calm animals standing together in the dark, weathering the worst the winter can send, and enduring it quietly by the simple warmth of standing close. The storm cannot break them, it can only pass, and when it has passed, they will shake the snow from their shaggy coats and lower their heads and go on grazing as if nothing had happened at all. Let their deep, patient calm settle into you now. The storm passes, the calm remains. Nearby, pouring at the snow, is a smaller, lighter shape, and then another and another. A little group of reindeer digging down through the drifts with their broad hooves to reach the frozen plants beneath. In the far north, they call them reindeer. In other lands, the very same animal is called the caribou. By either name, they are the great wanderers of the cold, moving in herds across the winterland. Living on the green lichen, they dig from under the snow. Watch how patiently they work, scraping away the snow with those wide, shovel-like hooves, uncovering the frozen lichen, a mouthful at a time. It is thin, hard food, but it is enough, and the reindeer are made to find it, made to smell it out through a foot of snow, made to walk for miles, and miles across the dark land to reach the places where it grows. They are never still for long, these wanderers, always drifting on, quiet and patient, across the wide, white dark. And the reindeer carry a secret in their eyes, a wonder that science has only lately understood. For their eyes change with the seasons. In the bright summer, when the sun never sets, the shining layer at the back of a reindeer's eye glows a rich gold. But in the winter, in the long blue dark, that same layer slowly turns a deep and shining blue. Their very eyes change color, gold to blue, summer to winter, to help them see in the dim blue light of the polar night. The blue eye of winter gathers up what little light there is, the faint blue glow of the snow and the sky, and drinks it in, and lets the reindeer see softly through the long dark months, and they can see something more, something hidden from us. They can see the deep blue and violet light we call ultraviolet, the light that pours unseen across the snow to a reindeer. The winter world is not as dark as it looks to you. It is soft and glowing and full of a gentle blue light that only they can see. Rest your mind on that thought a moment, soft and strange and comforting, that the dark is only dark to some eyes, that the very same night, which seems so black and cold to you, is, to the reindeer, a soft blue glowing country, gentle and full of light. Perhaps your own sleep is like that too. It looks like nothing, like darkness, like an emptying. But within it, unseen, a quiet light is always working, mending you, softly, while you rest. The reindeer drift on across the snow, digging, grazing, wandering. A loose grey line of them, fading slowly into the blue dark. You watch them go, calm, patient, at home in the endless winter. And then they are gone, over a low white rise, and the great silence settles back. Let us drift on too, softly, across the glowing snow, following the faint trail of the herd, deeper into the long night, toward the creatures who follow the herds through the dark. Something is moving low across the snow, quick and light and pale. It stops, it sits, and it turns two dark eyes toward us, set in a small pointed face, in a body wrapped entirely in thick white fur. An Arctic fox, the smallest and hardiest of all the hunters of the north, no bigger than a small dog, curled and cloaked, in the warmest coat any fox has ever worn. It sits lightly on the snow, its great bushy tail wrapped round its feet, calm and bright-eyed in the freezing dark. The Arctic fox fears no cold. Its white winter coat is so deep and so warm that it will not even begin to shiver until the air falls far, far below freezing, colder than almost anywhere a person could stand. It has small round ears and short legs, and a small neat nose, all of it made to hold the warmth in, to give the cold as little to grip as possible. And on the soles of its feet grows fur, so that it walks warm and silent across the snow, leaving barely a print. Watch it hunt now. It stands very still, its head cocked, its ears turned down toward the snow, listening. Somewhere beneath the white, a lemming is moving through its tunnels, and the fox can hear it, the faint small rustle of it, deep under the drift. The fox waits and listens and fixes the exact spot. And then it rises up on its hind legs and leaps high into the air and dives headfirst straight down into the snow, punching through the crust to the hidden world below. It is a strange and lovely thing to see, that high, arcing pounce, the fox hanging for a moment against the stars before it plunges into the drift. Sometimes it catches its small, warm meal. Sometimes it comes up with nothing but a face full of snow and shakes it off and trots on and tries again, patient and tireless. And what it does not eat, it buries, tucking small stores of food away beneath the snow, saving against the hungry heart of the winter, quietly providing for the darker days to come. When the deep cold comes and the land grows lean, the little fox will often turn toward the frozen sea and go trotting out across the ice, following in the great paw prints of the polar bear. For where the bear hunts, there are scraps, and the fox is glad to follow the giant across the ice and take what it leaves behind, a small white shadow, trailing a great white king across the frozen sea, under the burning stars. The North is woven together like this, the small following the great, all of them enduring the dark as one. Let the little fox trot on into the dark, now bright-eyed and tireless, warm in its wonderful coat. There is such cheerfulness in it, such bright, small courage, going lightly about its life in a place that would kill an unprotected creature in an hour. It does not fret about the cold. It is simply made for it, and glad of it, and at home. Feel a little of that ease settle into you now. You too are wrapped and warm and safe. You too are exactly where you belong. On a low rise of wind, packed snow, something sits so still and so white that you would take it for a mound of snow itself, until it turns its head. Two round golden eyes, blinking slowly in a broad white face. A snowy owl, great and round and silent, feathered from its eyes to the tips of its toes in soft white down, sitting motionless on the snow, watching the night with those wide gold eyes. It has hunted the lemmings all through the pale summer, and now it hunts them through the dark. When it flies, it makes no sound at all. The edges of its broad white wings are soft and frayed into a fine comb, so that the air slips over them without a whisper, and the owl drifts across the snow, as silent as a snowflake, as silent as a thought. It hears the faint stir of a lemming beneath the drift, and turns its whole round face toward the sound, and floats down, soft and sure, and takes it from the snow, and lifts away again, without ever making a sound. But mostly, the owl simply sits and waits hour after hour, still as a carving, its warm white body settled on the cold snow, its gold eyes half closed. Patient beyond all patience, it is in no hurry. The night is long, and the owl has learned the deep art of waiting, of sitting quiet and still and untroubled, while the hours drift by and the stars wheel slowly overhead. Let its great calm stillness settle into you. Now, there is nothing to chase, nothing to do, only to sit and be still and wait for sleep. Far off across the snow, a long grey shape lopes through the blue dark, and then another behind it, and another. A small pack of Arctic wolves, pale and lean and tireless, following the faint trail of the reindeer across the endless white. They move at an easy, loping trot, the pace they can hold for hour after hour, mile after mile, drifting through the winter land like grey smoke, quiet and patient, and always moving on. The wolves of the far north are pale, almost white, to match the world they hunt in, and they are among the greatest wanderers on earth, crossing vast distances through the dark of the winter. Following the herds, wherever they roam, they do not hurry, and they do not tire. They simply keep moving, at that steady, easy pace, close together, a family traveling, as one through the long night, sharing the work and the warmth, calling now and then to one another across the snow in long, low, drifting howls. Perhaps you hear one now, far away, a single long note, rising into the star-filled dark, and then another answering, and then the whole pack singing together for a moment before falling still. It is not a fearful sound. It is only the wolves telling each other where they are, holding the family together across the wide dark land. A song of belonging, sent up into the freezing night. Let it drift over you, that far wild music, and fade, and leave the great silence deeper and softer than before. Somewhere out in that vast dark land moves a creature, quite alone, low and dark and powerful, with a broad head and short strong legs, and a rolling, tireless walk, a wolverine. the strongest and most solitary of the northern hunters, roaming enormous distances by itself across the frozen wild. Afraid of nothing, at home in the emptiest, coldest country there is. It crosses whole mountain ranges alone in the dark of winter, following its nose across the snow, tireless and untroubled and utterly self-possessed. There is a deep, calm strength in the wolverine, a creature so at ease in the hardest place on earth that it needs no company, no shelter, nothing but its own thick fur and its own strong legs and the wide dark land to wander. It goes where it wishes, it fears nothing, and it asks for nothing but to be left to its long, lonely crossing of the winter world. Let a little of that quiet, self-possessed calm settle into you now, as the wolverine rolls on, alone and unafraid, into the dark. And high above it all, riding the cold night wind, on long, pale wings, is the great hunter of the northern sky, a jaw falcon, the largest falcon in all the world, and in the far north, often pure white, barred faintly with grey. A great pale bird, cutting silently through the dark air above the snow. It hunts the ptarmigan and the other birds of the winter, and it is fast, breathtakingly fast, but it spends most of the long night at rest, perched high and still on some frozen crag, waiting, watching, patient, as all the north is patient. So the hunters of the north keep their long, slow watch through the winter dark. The little fox trotting the snow, the white owl still on its rise, the wolves drifting after the herds, the wolverine alone in the vast dark, the pale falcon high on its crag, each one patient, each one enduring, each one perfectly, quietly at home in the cold, and all of them in their own time curling down at last into the snow to rest, as you are resting now, deep in the warm dark. Let us drift on now, across the last of the frozen land, toward the very edge of the world. Ahead of us the snow runs down to a low white shore, and beyond it lies something vast, and flat, and strange. It is the sea, but not a sea you would know, for here, in the deep of winter, the sea itself has frozen. The great cold has reached down into the salt water and turned it hard, mile upon mile, all the way to the horizon and far, far beyond. We have come to the frozen ocean. Think of what that means, a whole sea, turned to ice. In the autumn, as the cold deepened, the surface of the ocean grew slow and thick and began to freeze, first into a thin skin, then into a soft grey slush, then into solid ice, spreading out from the shore, joining and thickening, until the whole face of the sea lay locked and white and still beneath the winter stars. It is one of the greatest changes on the whole earth, this yearly freezing of the northern sea, and it happens every winter, quietly, in the dark. Out here, the ice is not smooth. It is a wild, broken country of its own, a vast plain of white slabs and blocks, heaved and tilted and jumbled together, stretching away as far as you can see. They call it the pack ice. It is always moving, slowly, drifting on the dark water beneath, driven by the wind and the deep sea currents, so that the whole frozen ocean is forever cracking and shifting and grinding against itself and slowly, endlessly rearranging its broken white face. Where two great sheets of ice press together, the ice buckles and breaks and rears up into long walls and ridges, tumbled ranges of blue, white blocks, sculpted into strange and beautiful shapes. And where the ice pulls apart, it opens into leads, long cracks of black open water that steam gently in the freezing air, dark rivers winding through the white, until the cold seals them over again. The frozen sea is never quite still and never quite silent. It breathes and groans and shifts all through the long night, Listen to it now. From somewhere far off comes a long, low groan as a great floe grinds against its neighbor, and then a sharp crack ringing across the ice as a new lead opens somewhere in the dark, and then a deep, soft boom felt more than heard, rolling up through the ice beneath your feet. These are the voices of the frozen sea, the slow music of the moving ice, strange and deep and oddly soothing, like the sounds of some enormous sleeping thing turning over in its rest. You are standing now on the frozen surface of the sea itself, on ice, perhaps only a few feet thick, and below it, black and cold and deep, lies the living ocean, going about its dark business beneath your feet. It is a strange and wonderful place to stand, this frozen skin between two worlds, the star-filled air above and the black sea below. And it is quiet here, so quiet, out on the great white plain of the ice, with nothing around you but the drifting floes and the burning stars and the long, slow breathing of the sea. The ice stretches away in every direction, pale and glowing under the stars, ridged and broken and beautiful, running on and on to a horizon you cannot even find, where the white ice meets the black sky in a line, so faint it seems to dissolve. There is no end to it that you can see, only the ice and the dark and the stars and the vast cold silence, rolling away forever. And yet it is not lonely here, it is only vast and still and clean and deeply, perfectly at peace. And then, softly, something begins to happen in the sky. Low in the north, above the ice, a pale green glow appears, faint at first, like the light of a distant town beyond the horizon. But there is no town out here. There is nothing for 1,000 miles. You watch it, and it grows slowly, brightening, spreading, reaching up from the horizon in a soft green arch across the stars. The aurora is beginning. The great light of the polar night is waking, up there in the dark, above the frozen sea. We will come back to that light and drift beneath it a long while before the night is through. For now, just let it glow there, softly, at the edge of the sky, a promise of wonders still to come, while we turn our eyes back down to the ice and to the great creatures who live their lives out here, on and under the frozen sea, in the deep of the winter dark. For the ice is not empty. It is home to some of the most magnificent animals on the whole earth. Feel how calm you have become, out here on the great white plain under the waking sky. The cold cannot touch you. The vastness does not frighten you. There is only the deep peace of this enormous quiet place, settling over you, softer and heavier with every breath. You are drifting now, out on the frozen sea, beneath the first green light of the aurora, held safe and warm in the wide arms of the winter night. There is nothing to do but rest. Nothing to do but breathe, and drift, and sink. The ice around you glows faintly in the starlight, blue in its hollows, white on its ridges, blue and white, and silver as far as you can see. Here and there, a block of older ice glows a deep and secret blue, the blue of ice that has been frozen so long, and pressed so hard that all the air has been squeezed out of it, leaving it clear and dense and blue as a jewel. The whole frozen sea is a country of soft blues and silvers, glowing gently in the dark. And over it all lies the great silence of the ice, broken only now and then by those deep, slow groans and cracks from far away. It is a silence with a weight to it, a presence, a vast soft stillness that seems to press gently down on everything and quiet it. Your thoughts grow slower in it. Your breathing grows softer. Out here on the frozen sea, in the deep of the polar night, the whole clamoring world falls away. And there is only stillness and starlight and the slow, patient ice. If the moon is up, and often in the polar night it is, riding high for days on end, then it pours its cold silver light across the ice, and the whole frozen sea shines. Every ridge and hollow, every tumbled block, every drifting floe, lit silver, blue beneath the moon, casting long soft shadows across the snow. It is bright enough to see for miles, a strange and lovely midnight brightness, the moon and the snow and the ice, all giving back the light, so that the deep of the night glows softly silver. Let that silver stillness hold you now, the moon above, the ice below, the vast frozen sea glowing all around you, silent and patient and calm. You have come so far out into the quiet, so far from every noise and hurry of the world, all the way to the frozen top of the earth, where nothing moves but the slow ice and the wheeling stars. And here you may rest. Here you may set everything down and be still, and let the great silence of the ice carry you gently towards sleep. There is a kind of freedom in a place so vast and so empty. Nothing is asked of you here. No one needs you. Nothing is waiting. There is only the ice and the sky, and your own slow breath rising in soft clouds into the dark. You could stand here forever, it seems, in this great white silence, and never be troubled by anything again. Let that feeling fill you now, that deep, clean, weightless peace, and let it carry away the last of the day, out across the ice, into the dark. But you are not alone out here, on the frozen sea, in the dark. Great lives are moving across this ice tonight, and beneath it, patient and quiet and perfectly at home. The largest hunter that walks the earth is out here, somewhere in the dark, padding softly across the snow on feet, as wide as dinner plates. Let us go and find it now, gently, and watch it a while, as it goes about the slow, quiet business of surviving the winter, out on the ice, under the stars. There, do you see it? A shape, cream, white against the blue, white snow, moving slowly across the ice, with a long, rolling, patient stride, a polar bear. The great white bear of the north, the largest hunter on land in all the world. And yet, out here, it moves as softly as a shadow, its huge padded feet making no sound at all on the snow. It swings its long neck low, its black nose reading the wind, drifting across the frozen sea beneath the stars, entirely at home in the freezing dark. It is enormous, this bear, and beautiful, wrapped in dense cream. White fur from the tip of its nose to the soles of its wide-furred feet. Beneath that fur is a layer of fat as thick as your hand, and beneath the white hairs, its skin is black to soak up what little warmth the winter offers. It is built entirely and perfectly for this one hard place, the frozen sea, and there is nowhere else on earth it would rather be. This is its whole world, this endless plain of drifting ice. Watch it come to a stop beside a small dark hole in the ice, a seal's breathing hole, and go utterly still. It lowers its great head. It waits, and it does not move. Not a muscle, not a whisker, for minutes on end, for an hour, for hour after hour, if it must, waiting with a patience beyond anything you have ever known, for the small chance that a seal will rise to breathe. This is the whole art of the bear, not speed, not fury, only patience, only the deep, still, endless patience of the ice. There is no cruelty in it, and no anger. It is only the old, quiet way of the ice, the way it has always been, the great bear and the small seal, the hunter and the hunted, bound together in the cold. Hare. Nay, te. The bear must eat to live, and it waits, and now and then it feeds, and mostly it simply walks, and waits and endures, wandering the frozen sea through the long dark winter, patient and calm and alone. Let it walk on now, that great white shape, softly into the dark, and trouble yourself with nothing. For there is nothing to fear here tonight. The bear does not know you are here, dreaming at the edge of its white world. It walks its ancient rounds across the ice, under the green light and the burning stars. At peace in the only home it has ever known, and its deep calm patience spreads out across the ice and reaches even you, and quiets you, and settles you deeper into rest. The great bear walks. The stars wheel slowly. The ice glows blue, and you drift, softly, down towards sleep. But not every bear is out on the ice tonight. Somewhere back on the land, buried deep in a great drift of snow, on a frozen hillside, another bear lies hidden in the warmest, safest, most secret place in all the north. A mother bear in her winter den. Long ago, before the deep cold came, she climbed up from the ice and dug herself a small round chamber deep inside a snowbank and curled up there in the dark and the quiet to wait out the very heart of the winter. For it is only the mothers to be who den away like this. The great males and the young bears stay out on the ice all winter long, hunting through the dark. But a mother expecting cubs digs down into the snow, into a warm hidden hollow. And there, in the deep of the polar night, in the black and the quiet, entirely alone, she gives birth to her cubs. Two, most often, tiny and blind and helpless, no bigger than a loaf of bread, warm against her enormous side. Picture that small, hidden family, now deep in the snow. In the dark of midwinter, the great mother, curled around her cubs, warming them with her huge, warm body, feeding them, cleaning them, holding them close against the cold, and the cubs, tiny and new, burrowing into her thick fur, growing slowly, safely, in the deep, warm dark of the den, while above them the winter howls and the stars burn, and the long night passes over. They neither know nor care about any of it. They are warm, they are fed, they are held. Inside the den, it is dim and close and wonderfully warm, warmed by nothing but the great slow heat of the mother's body, so that, even in the deepest cold of the year, the little family lies snug and safe beneath the snow. The mother barely stirs. She does not eat nor drink all through the long dark months. She simply lies there in the quiet, holding her cubs, dozing and waking and dozing again, patient and still, waiting for the spring, giving all her warmth and strength to the tiny lives against her. There is no safer, warmer, more peaceful place in all the frozen north than that small snow den in the dark, with the mother's slow heartbeat filling it, and the cubs asleep against her, and the whole cold world shut safely out. Let that image hold you now and warm you. You too are held tonight in a warm and hidden place, wrapped and safe against the dark, while the cold world turns on far away and cannot reach you. Sleep as those cubs sleep, deep and trusting and warm. Nothing can reach you here. Out on the ice again, near one of those small, dark breathing holes, a smooth grey head breaks the black water without a sound. Two large dark eyes, a small whiskered face, gazing calmly about in the starlight, a ringed seal. The small gentle seal of the far north, named for the pale rings that mark its dark grey coat, and the constant, quiet companion of the great white bear. It breathes softly at its hole in the ice and watches the night and slips under again into the dark water below. The ringed seal lives its whole winter in and under the ice, and it has learned a wonderful trick to do it. All through the autumn, as the sea froze over, the seal kept a set of breathing holes open, scratching at the ice from below with the strong curved claws on its front flippers, working away, hole after hole, keeping each one from sealing shut. And so, all winter beneath the frozen sea, the seal can swim from hole to hole in the dark water, rising to breathe whenever it needs, safe beneath the ice. And over one of those holes, where the snow lies deep, the seal builds itself a secret room. It hollows out a small cave in the packed snow, just above the water, a hidden lair, roofed with snow, invisible from above, warm and dim and safe. And there, up out of the water, in its snug snow chamber, the ringed seal hauls out to rest and to sleep, hidden from the wind and the cold and the searching nose of the bear. A warm white room in the snow, above the dark sea, under the stars. Picture the small seal there, curled in its hidden snow cave, dry and warm above the black water, the winter shut safely out. It is another of the North's quiet miracles, another small, warm, hidden place in the vast cold dark. Another creature that has found, against all the odds, a way to be safe and warm. And at rest, in the very heart of the frozen sea. The whole North is full of these hidden warmths, these secret restful places, and tonight, your own warm bed is one of them. When the spring comes, far off in that same snow lair, the mother seal will bear her single pup, a small soft creature in a coat of pure white fur, and she will nurse it there in the hidden dark, safe above the water until it is fat and strong enough to face the sea. But that is months away yet. For now, there is only the deep of the winter, and the seal resting quiet in its snow cave, and the bear waiting patient on the ice above, and the long night holding them both. Let them rest now, the seal in its snow room, the bear on the ice, the fox and the owl, and the wolf out on the land, all of them settled into the great patience of the winter. All of them waiting, quietly, warmly, for the light that will surely come. And let yourself rest among them, one more warm and quiet life in the vast still North. Wanting nothing, fearing nothing, doing nothing at all, but breathing softly in the dark, and sinking, slowly, deeper and deeper towards sleep. Near the ringed seal, at a wider hole, a larger head appears, heavy and square, with a great fan of long pale whiskers drooping from its muzzle. A bearded seal, much bigger than the ringed seal, and named for that magnificent moustache of whiskers, which it uses to feel along the dark seabed, for the clams and shrimp it eats. It rests its heavy head on the edge of the ice, blinking slowly, its long whiskers glistening, and then it sinks away again, softly, into the black water below. The bearded seal has one of the strangest and loveliest voices in the sea. Down in the dark water, beneath the ice, the males sing, long, slow, spiraling songs that fall through the water, a trilling, warbling, downward, sliding call that can last for a whole minute, echoing far through the frozen sea. It is an eerie, beautiful sound, drifting up faintly through the ice, one of the secret songs of the polar night, sung in the black water below your feet, where no eye can see. Imagine that, for a moment, that beneath the silent ice, beneath the still white plain that seems so empty and so quiet, the dark water is full of song, the long spiraling trills of the bearded seals, the soft calls of other seals answering, oh, nay, 10. A whole hidden music, rising and falling through the black sea, under the ice, all through the long night, unheard, unseen, going on. And on in the cold dark below the North is never as empty as it looks. It is only quiet on the surface below. It is singing. Let that thought soothe you now, soft and strange and deep, that there is music in the darkness, that even in the coldest, blackest, most silent, seeming place, life is stirring and singing quietly, out of sight. Perhaps the dark of your own sleep is like that too, not empty at all, but full of quiet work and quiet song, deep below the surface, mending you while you rest. Let the seal song drift up through the ice and carry you down, gently, into the singing dark. Not all the sea is frozen. Even now, here and there across the ice, run the leads, those long cracks of open black water, winding through the white like dark rivers. And wherever the water lies open, life gathers, for these leads are the doorways between the two worlds. The only places where the creatures of the sea can meet the air seals, rise here to breathe whales, come here to fill their lungs. And along the black edges of the water, pale, ghostly birds are gathered, waiting in the freezing dark. One of them lifts into the air, now, pure white against the black water, and circles, and settles again, an ivory gull, a small, beautiful, snow, white gull that stays in the high Arctic all through the winter. One of the very few birds that never flees the polar night. It haunts the leads and the ice edges, ghostly and pale, living on what the sea and the great hunters leave behind, drifting through the dark on white wings. A small, brave spirit of the frozen sea, keeping its lonely watch through the long night. And now, from a wide stretch of open water at the edge of the ice, comes a great commotion of grunts and groans and heavy splashing. We have come to the walrus. Look, there, hauled out along the ice at the water's edge, a whole herd of them, huge and brown and glistening, piled together in a great warm heap of bodies, hundreds of them, grunting and shifting and dozing in the starlight. The largest seals of the north, gathered together against the cold, out on the edge of the frozen sea. A walrus is an enormous, wonderful, faintly comical creature, a great barrel of a body wrapped in thick, wrinkled skin, with a broad, whiskered face and two long white tusks curving down from its upper lip. Those tusks are teeth, grown long, and the walrus uses them for everything: to haul its great bulk up onto the ice, to chip at the ice, to spar gently with its neighbors, and to give it its old scientific name, which means, roughly, the one who walks on its teeth. When it feeds, the walrus dives to the dark seabed below, and there, in the black, cold water, it uses that great bristling moustache of whiskers to feel through the mud for clams. Its whiskers are so sensitive that it can find each small clam by touch alone in total darkness. And then it sucks the soft body out of the shell with a mouth like a powerful piston. It can eat thousands of clams in a single dive, feeling its patient way across the dark seabed. And then it rises, slowly, back to the ice and the air. But mostly, in the deep of winter, the walruses rest. They haul their great bodies out onto the ice and pile together in a vast warm heap, flipper over flipper, tusk over back. Hundreds of tons of walrus dozing in the dark, sharing their warmth, grunting and sighing and snoring in a great, slow chorus. Now and then, one shifts and jostles its neighbors, and a ripple of grumbles passes through the herd. And then they settle again and sleep, a great pile of gentle giants, dreaming together on the ice. There is something deeply comforting in that huge, warm heap of sleeping animals, packed together against the cold, safe in their numbers, dozing the long night away. They are in no hurry to be anywhere. The winter is long, and the ice is theirs, and there is nothing to do now but rest and keep warm and wait for the light. Let their great sleepy calm settle over you now. That heavy, warm, contented drowsiness of 100 resting giants, and let it pull you down softly toward your own deep sleep. Feel how heavy your own body has grown now, how warm, how still. Like the walrus on the ice, you have nowhere to be and nothing to do but rest. Like the seal in its snow cave, you are warm and hidden and safe. Like the bear in her den, You are held in a deep and secret warmth, while the cold world turns far away. The whole north is sleeping around you, great and small, on the ice and under it. And you are sleeping with it now, drifting down and down and down. Let us slip closer to one of those leads, now. One of those long, dark cracks of open water in the ice, and look down into it. The water is black and still, and it steams gently in the freezing air, a soft rising mist where the warmer sea meets the bitter cold. The edges of the lead are crusted with new ice, delicate and feathery, growing slowly out across the black water, even as you watch. And below, in the dark, the living sea is waiting, deep and cold and full of quiet life. For all the great sea creatures of the north must come to these leads to breathe. Down in the dark water they swim, beneath the frozen roof of the ice, and they follow the leads. The cracks, the thin places, rising up through them to fill their lungs before they slip away again into the deep. The seals, the walruses, and the whales, the great whales of the winter ice, moving through the black water below, coming up to breathe at the leads, and then diving down again into the cold and the dark. The leads are lifelines, then thin threads of open water winding through the frozen world, keeping the whole living sea in touch with the air above. Without them, nothing could survive beneath the ice. With them, a whole world of great and wonderful creatures can live out the winter down there in the dark, rising now and then to breathe at a crack in the ice under the stars, and then sinking back into their hidden sea. Let us go down now, gently, and join them beneath the ice in the living dark. Come to the very edge of the black water and look down and let yourself sink slowly, softly into the sea. You will feel no cold. You will need no breath. This is a journey for the mind, and the mind swims warm and free. Down you go, through the black water, beneath the frozen roof of the ice, into the deep, quiet sea of the polar winter. The surface closes softly overhead. The light of the stars grows dim and blue and far away, and the great, calm dark of the sea folds gently around you. It is very dark down here, beneath the ice, and very still and very cold, and yet it is not empty, and it is not dead. It is one of the richest, most crowded, most alive places in all the ocean. This dark sea beneath the winter ice. All around you, unseen in the black water, drift countless tiny living things, and the great creatures that feed on them, and a whole slow, cold, patient world, going quietly about its life in the dark, exactly as it has all through the deep of every winter, forever. Let your eyes grow used to the dark, and look up at the underside of the ice above you. It is a strange and beautiful ceiling, this bottom of the frozen sea. Not flat and white as you might think, but ridged and pitted, and hung with long, clear fingers of ice, and stained in great patches, a soft golden brown, and that golden brown stain, clinging to the underside of the ice, is alive. It is the beginning of everything. It is where the whole great web of northern life is quietly rooted, upside down, beneath the ice. For the underside of the sea ice is a garden, a vast, hanging, upside down meadow of tiny plants. Ice algae, growing in their countless billions on the bottom of the ice, tinting it gold, and brown and green. All through the dim blue months, they cling there, drinking the faint light that filters down through the ice, and the sea's own nutrients rising from below, growing slowly, patiently. In the cold, they are the smallest things imaginable, single specks of life, and they are the foundation of the entire frozen world. For everything, in the end, feeds on them. The tiny drifting animals of the sea graze on the ice algae. The small fish eat the tiny animals, The seals and the birds eat the fish. The bears eat the seals. And the great whales sweep up the tiny animals by the ton. The whole vast pyramid of northern life, the bear, the narwhal, the walrus, all of it, rests on this thin golden smear of algae on the underside of the ice. The mightiest creatures of the north are fed, in the end, by the smallest. There is a deep and lovely truth in that, worth resting your mind on as you drift, that the greatest things grow from the smallest, that the whole towering world of the ice is built, quietly, on specks of life too small to see nothing. Here is wasted, nothing is too small to matter. Each tiny golden speck of algae, clinging to the ice in the dark, is holding up the whole magnificent north. And you, drifting here in the dark water, are held up by 10,000 small, quiet things too, working unseen, keeping you alive while you rest. Grazing on that hanging meadow now, in swarms beyond all counting, are the tiny animals of the sea copepods. They are called, and krill, small drifting creatures, most no bigger than a grain of rice, swimming in their countless millions through the dark water, feeding on the algae, filling the sea. In the beam of an imagined light, they would glitter like drifting dust, like a slow snow falling upward, endless and shimmering, a living cloud of tiny lives, filling the black water in every direction. One of them drifts close, a single copod, and if you could see it clearly, you would find it strangely beautiful. A small, clear teardrop of a creature with long feathery feelers, and inside its clear body, a single bright bead of orange oil. That drop of oil is its treasure, its store of food and warmth, saved up through the richer months to carry it through the lean, cold dark. The whole northern sea is full of these tiny oil-rich creatures, drifting and waiting. And they are the butter of the Arctic, the rich food that feeds nearly everything. For the little copepods and the krill are eaten by almost everyone. The small fish sieve them from the water, the seabirds dive for them, and the greatest whale, ales on earth, open their vast mouths, and swallow whole clouds of them at once. Tons of tiny drifting lives in a single gulp. This small, shimmering multitude, drifting patiently in the dark under the ice, is the great feast of the north, the quiet abundance that makes all the rest of it possible. Let the shimmer of them drift through your mind now, soft and endless and calm. Among them move the small fish of the ice, and chief among them is a slim silver fish, no longer than your hand, the polar cod. It is the most important fish in all the Arctic, swarming under the ice in great numbers, feeding on the copepods and the krill, and being eaten, in its turn, by the seals and the birds and the belugas. And it carries in its blood a small miracle, a kind of natural antifreeze, so that even in water cold enough to freeze, its blood flows on, and it does not freeze at all. Think of that, a fish swimming freely in water so cold. It is almost ice, kept liquid, kept alive by a gentle chemistry in its own blood. The polar cod hangs there in the black water beneath the ice, in the killing cold, perfectly at ease, its blood flowing warm and free, tucked up against the underside of the ice among the hanging algae, safe in a world that would freeze almost anything else solid. The north is full of these quiet impossibilities, these small creatures who have simply learned, over long ages, how to live where nothing should. Here, drifting past you in the dark, is one of the strangest and most delicate of them all. A tiny creature, no bigger than your thumbnail, clear as glass, flapping two small wings, flying slowly through the black water as if through air. A sea angel, that is truly its name. A small transparent swimming snail that long ago gave up its shell and learned to fly through the sea on two wings, like fins drifting through the dark cold water, beating its little wings, slow and graceful and strange. Si, wafa. It hunts, in its gentle way, an even smaller cousin, the sea butterfly, another tiny swimming snail that still keeps its delicate shell. And so, down here, in the black winter sea, tiny angels chase tiny butterflies, slowly, through the dark, on beating wings, a whole silent ballet of glass, clear creatures, no bigger than your fingernail, drifting and dancing through the cold. You would never know they were there, and yet the dark sea is full of them, flying their slow patient flights through the endless winter night. Let them drift through your mind now, those tiny glass angels, beating their small wings through the dark, slow, delicate, calm. There is such gentleness in them, such quiet grace, going about their slow, small lives in the black, cold sea, harming nothing, wanting nothing, simply drifting and flying through the dark. Feel yourself grow as light and as slow and as gently adrift as they are, floating weightless in the quiet water, carried softly along by currents you cannot feel, sinking deeper, always deeper, towards sleep. Something larger drifts near now, slow and soft and ghostly, pulsing gently through the dark water, a jellyfish. Even here, beneath the winter ice, the jellies drift, and some of them are giants. This one trails long, fine tentacles far behind it as it pulses, a great soft bell of amber and rust glowing faintly in the dark. A lion's mane jelly, one of the largest jellyfish in the world, drifting slowly through the black water beneath the ice. Its long hair, fine tentacles streaming out behind it, like a veil. It means you no harm down here in the dark. It only drifts and pulses and drifts again. A slow, soft ghost of the winter sea, following the currents wherever they lead, in no hurry at all, feeling its patient way through the dark. Watch it pulse gently past you, opening and closing. Opening and closing, its long veil trailing behind it. And let its slow, soft rhythm become your own. Opening as you breathe in, closing as you breathe out. Drifting on, softly, through the deep, quiet dark. Far below, on the floor of the frozen sea, there is a whole other world, cold and dark and slow, but crowded with quiet life carpets of brittle stars, waving their slender arms, anemones, soft and still, opening to the dark water sea spiders, stepping slowly across the mud. Great sponges, older than you can imagine, filtering the cold water grain by grain. It is a garden of patient, ancient, gentle things, living out their slow, cold lives in the dark at the bottom of the sea, untroubled by the winter far above. All of this whole crowded living world, drifting and swimming and creeping through the dark, beneath the frozen roof of the sea, through the long polar night. It is easy, up on the ice, to think the winter empty, but down here in the black water, it teems with quiet life, patient and cold and calm, going gently on through the dark. Let that fullness hold you now, that sense of a whole living world, all around you in the dark, breathing softly, and let it carry you deeper toward rest. And now, out of the deep blue dark, a great pale shape comes gliding, long and smooth and mottled grey, and then another behind it, and another. A pod of narwhals, rising slowly through the black water toward a distant crack in the ice above, and from the head of the first one grows something extraordinary, a long, straight, spiral tusk thrust out ahead of it through the water like a lance, like a wand, like the horn of some creature out of an old and half-forgotten story. For the narwhal is the unicorn of the sea, and its tusk is real, and it is a wonder. It grows straight out from the front of the animal's head, spiraling always to the left, and in a large male it can reach 9 feet long, half again as long as a tall person. A single, impossible ivory spear carried through the cold, dark water. For centuries, when these tusks washed ashore, people believed they were the horns of unicorns, and kings paid fortunes for them, and no one knew the strange grey whale that truly grew them. And what is the tusk for a long time, no one knew. And even now, it keeps some of its secrets. But we have learned that it is a tooth, a single great tooth grown out through the lip, and that it is not a weapon, but a sense. It is packed with millions of tiny living nerves, open to the sea, so that the narwhal can feel the water through it. Its warmth, its saltiness, its faintest, change the narwhal, reads the sea with its tusk, feeling its way through the dark winter water with a wand of living ivory. The narwhals spend their whole winter here, in the deep of the pack ice, further into the frozen sea than almost any other whale dares to go. They dive deeper than almost any creature in the ocean, plunging far down into the black cold water, a mile deep and more, to feed on the fish and squid of the lightless depths, and then rising slowly, all that long way back up to find a crack in the ice and breathe, down into the dark and up to the air, over and over, all through the winter night. It is a hard and narrow life, wintering under the pack ice, always needing to find the cracks and the leads to breathe, always risking the ice closing over. But the narwhals know this frozen sea as no one else does. They read it with their tusks and their calls. They find the thin places and the open water, and they thread their way through the winter, pod by pod, in the dark, deep divers in a frozen world. At home, where almost nothing else can live, let them rise softly through the dark, toward the air. Watch the pod come up now, slowly, to a long crack in the ice, and break the black surface, one by one, with a soft blowing sigh, their tusks tilting up into the starlight, their warm breath rising in little clouds into the freezing air. They rest there a moment, at the edge of the ice, breathing, their pale, mottled backs gleaming under the stars, their long tusks crossing gently above the water, and then, softly, one by one, they slip under again, and are gone, down into the dark, and the black water closes over them, and moving with them through the winter sea, sometimes come their close cousins, all in white belugas, the white whales of the north, smooth and pale and round-headed, glowing softly in the dark water, like pale ghosts. They have no tusk and no fin on their backs, the better to slip beneath the ice, and they are among the most graceful of all the whales, turning and rolling through the black water with a slow, easy, boneless grace, their round white heads nodding, their faces set in what looks, always, like a gentle smile. The beluga is the most talkative creature in all the sea, down in the dark water. It whistles, and chirps, and clicks, and squeals, and trills, a whole endless chatter of squeaks and calls, so loud and so varied that the old sailors called the beluga the sea canary. All through the winter dark, the belugas fill the black water with their bright, strange chatter, talking, always talking, to one another beneath the ice, a whole singing, whistling, chirping conversation going on in the deep, unheard, all through the long night. Imagine that hidden sea, then, full of voices, the long spiral songs of the bearded seals, the bright endless chatter of the belugas, the deep calls of the narwhals, threading through the dark. A whole frozen ocean, silent and still on its white surface, and below, in the black water, alive with song and talk and calling, all through the polar night. Let all those hidden voices drift up around you now, soft and strange and far away, a lullaby from the deep, and let them carry you down, gently, into sleep. Deeper in the dark water, a truly enormous shape is moving, slow and vast and patient. The largest creature that winters here, beneath the ice, a bowhead whale. It comes gliding through the Black Sea like a great dark island, 60 feet long, and more, its huge bowed head making up a third of its whole body. Its smooth, black back gleaming faintly in the dim blue light that filters down from above. It moves without haste, without effort, a mountain of gentle life, drifting through the frozen dark. The bowhead is the great whale of the ice, the only large whale that spends its whole life here, in the frozen north, never leaving for warmer seas, and it has a wonderful gift for the winter, that great bowed head. So huge and so strong, is a tool for breaking ice. When the bowhead needs to breathe and the sea is frozen over, it simply rises up beneath the ice and pushes, and with its massive head, it can break up through ice as thick as your hand, shattering a breathing hole in the frozen roof of the sea. Picture that in the dark and the cold, the vast whale rising slowly beneath the ice and pressing its great head upward, and the ice cracking and splitting and heaving apart, and the whale's blowhole breaking through into the freezing air, and a great warm breath rising in a cloud of steam into the starlight, and then the whale sinking back slowly into the black water to feed and drift, and rise again, hour after hour, breaking its own doorways through the frozen sea, all through the long winter night. The bowhead feeds, like the greatest whales do, on the smallest things, on those tiny, drifting copepods and krill that fill the dark water. Inside its great mouth hang the longest sheets of baleen in all the world, curtains of fine, bristled horn, longer than a tall person, and the whale swims slowly through the swarms with its mouth open and sieves the tiny creatures from the water by the countless million. The mightiest mouth in the sea, feeding gently on the smallest of lives, straining the cold water for its patient harvest of drifting dust. But the most astonishing thing about the bowhead is its age. For the bowhead whale lives longer than any other creature. Reindeer with a backbone that walks or swims the earth, save one. It can live for 200 years, 2 whole centuries, drifting through the cold northern sea. Some of the great bowheads alive under the ice tonight were born before your great grandparents were born, before the first cars, before the first electric light, and they have been swimming these same dark waters, slowly, quietly, ever since. Let your mind rest on that for a moment, on that vast, slow reach of time, a creature moving through the water above you that has seen 200 winters come and go, that was already old when your grandparents were children, that has drifted through the polar night, breaking the ice, singing in the dark, 10,000 times and more, and will go on drifting through it long after this night is forgotten. There is such deep peace in that great slowness, such calm. The bowhead is in no hurry. It has all the time in the world, and the bowhead sings. All through the winter dark, the whales call to one another across the black water in long, low, complex songs And unlike most whales, the bowhead is always changing its tune, inventing new songs, year after year, hundreds of different melodies, wild and free and strange, drifting through the frozen sea. Some who have listened say it sounds almost like jazz, endlessly improvised, endlessly new. A great slow music made in the dark by 200-year-old giants, filling the winter sea with song. And yet even the bowhead, at 200 years, is not the oldest life in this dark water. For rising now from the deep, slow beyond all slowness, comes a shape older still, long and heavy and dull grey, with a blunt rounded snout and small dim eyes, moving so slowly through the black water that it seems hardly to move at all. A Greenland shark, the oldest creature with a backbone on the whole earth. And it drifts up toward you now, through the cold, dark, patient, ancient, beyond all imagining. The Greenland shark lives in the cold, deep water of the north. And it does everything slowly. It swims so slowly that you could easily keep pace beside it, drifting along a little more than a slow walk, the most sluggish swimmer of all the sharks. It grows slowly too, barely the width of a finger longer each year, so that a large one, 15 or 20 feet long, must be almost unthinkably old, and it lives in that cold, dark patience, longer than any other creature with a backbone that has ever been measured. How long the scientists who studied them could scarcely believe their own findings, for the Greenland shark can live 400 years, 4 centuries, drifting slowly through the cold, dark sea. A Greenland shark swimming beneath the ice tonight may have been alive 400 years ago, when your country was a different place, when the world was a different world, and it has simply drifted on slowly through the deep cold water, century after century, while all the human ages rose and fell above it, unknown and unregarded in the dark. Try to hold that in your mind, softly, as you drift a living creature, here, now, in the water. That was born 400 years ago. That was already a century old, before your country was born. That has drifted, slowly, through the black cold sea, through 400 turnings of the year, 400 long winters, 400 returns of the light, asking nothing, hurrying nowhere, simply living, slowly, in the dark. There is no rush anywhere in the whole life of the Greenland shark. And tonight, there is no rush in yours. It drifts past you now, the ancient shark, vast and grey and slow, its small dim eye turning gently toward you, and then away, its great tail sweeping once, slowly, and carrying it on into the dark. It means you no harm. It is far too slow and far too calm and far too old to trouble itself with anything at all. It simply drifts on through the cold black water, as it has for centuries, patient and untroubled, and deeply, perfectly at peace. Let it carry your last worries away with it, slowly, into the deep, and be gone. There is a reason these long, slow lives are found here, in the cold and the dark, for the cold slows everything down. It slows the heart, and the blood, and the breath. It slows the very burning of life itself, so that here, in the freezing deep, a creature can live gently for centuries, never in any hurry. Its whole slow existence stretched out across the ages, like a long, calm dream. The cold, dark sea is a great preserver of slow and patient lives. And tonight, it is preserving you too, slowing you, cooling you, carrying you gently down. Let yourself grow as slow as the ancient shark, now as slow as the 200-year whale. Let your heart slow. Let your breath slow. Let the whole racing hurry of your day slow down and down and down until you are drifting as gently and as patiently as the oldest creatures of the deep, with nowhere to go and nothing to do. And all the time in the world, there is no hurry here. There has never been any hurry here. There is only the slow, cold dark and the ancient, patient lives and rest. Let us rise now, slowly, from the deep, back up through the black water, toward the ice, and the crack of open sky above. Up and up, the dim blue light growing above you, the surface drawing near. And then you break gently through the lead, out of the sea, and into the freezing air, and you look up at the winter sky, and you catch your breath, for the whole sky is on fire with a soft green light. While you were below, the aurora has woken in full, and now it fills the heavens from edge to edge. Great curtains of pale green light hang down from the top of the sky, rippling, swaying, shifting, folding across the stars like vast slow banners of light, stirred by a wind. You cannot feel they brighten and fade and brighten again. They gather into rivers of green that flow across the dark and break into rays that reach up toward the very crown of the sky and ripple along their lower edges with a soft, cold, dancing fire. It is the aurora, the northern lights, the great glory of the polar night, blazing silently overhead. It is one of the most beautiful things that a person can ever see, and here in the far north, in the long dark of winter, it comes again and again, night after night, this silent burning of the sky. Green is its common color, a soft, pale, glowing green, but sometimes its lower edges flush deep, rose, and crimson, and sometimes, rarely, great waves of violet and blue roll through it, so that the whole sky shimmers and shifts through colors that seem to belong to some other, gentler world. And what is it? This cold fire in the sky? It is, of all things, the breath of the sun. Far away, the sun is always streaming out a wind of tiny particles, blowing them across the dark of space, and some of them reach the earth. And the earth, with its great, unseen shield of magnetism, catches those particles and sweeps them down toward the two poles, north and south, funneling them into the sky above the frozen lands, where they come streaming down into the air at the top of the world. And there, 60 miles and more above the snow, those tiny particles from the sun strike the thin, high air and make it glow, just as the gas in a lamp glows when the current runs through it. The high air of the polar sky glows when the sun's particles come pouring into it. The green light is oxygen, high up, kindled to a glow. The rare red and purple is nitrogen, the whole shimmering. Curtain is nothing but the thin air of the sky, lit up like a vast and silent lamp by the distant breath of the sun. Knowing what it is takes nothing from its wonder, if anything. It deepens it, that the sun, 90 million miles away, should reach out across the dark and touch the top of our world and set the very sky alight silently in green and rose, for no reason at all, but the deep workings of things, and that you should be here, tiny and warm, beneath it, on the frozen sea, at the top of the turning world. To watch it burn, let the wonder of it fill you, quiet and vast, and lift you gently out of yourself. Watch how it moves. The aurora is never still. It flows and folds and ripples. The great curtains swaying slowly, then quickening, then falling still, then flaring, suddenly bright, and rushing across the sky in waves of light. Sometimes it hangs almost motionless, a soft green glow above the horizon. Ah, why fen ye by fent. And sometimes it fills the whole sky and dances wild and swift and silent, whirling overhead in great spirals and crowns of light, and through it all, the stars burn steadily behind it, unmoved as the green fire plays across them. And it makes no sound. That is the strangest thing of all, such a vast and violent seeming light, filling the whole sky, rushing and flaring and dancing overhead. And yet it comes in utter silence. There is only the deep quiet of the winter night, the soft settling of the snow, your own slow breath, and above it all, the great silent burning of the sky. The silence makes it dreamlike, unreal, a thing of pure light and no sound, playing out overhead while the frozen world lies hushed and still beneath it. The green light pours down over everything, and the snow and the ice give it back, so that the whole frozen sea glows faintly green beneath the glowing sky. And you stand between the two, between the burning heavens and the shining ice, wrapped in soft green light. It shifts and ripples across the snow around you, brightening and fading as the curtains move overhead, so that the very ground seems to breathe with light. There is nowhere else in all the world quite like this, and you are here, in the heart of it, at rest. The old peoples of the north watched this same light for thousands of years and told stories of it. Some said it was the spirits of their ancestors dancing in the sky. Some said it was the light of great fires, or the souls of the newly gone, or spirits playing a game with a ball across the heavens. They watched it as you watch it now, with wonder, and they felt, as perhaps you feel now, that the sky was somehow alive and close and full of gentle presences on the long nights of the winter. You do not need to name it, or explain it, or understand it. You need only lie back on the soft snow, warm inside your coat, and watch the great green light move across the sky. And let it move you. Let it draw all the small, tight worries out of you, up into that vast, slow dance, and scatter them across the stars. Let it fill the whole of your mind with soft green light, until there is no room left in you for anything but wonder and stillness and peace. Breathe slowly now, beneath the burning sky, in, and the green light brightens out, and it softly fades, in and out, and the aurora breathes with you, swelling and softening overhead, vast and silent and calm. There is nothing to do here but watch and breathe and let go. The whole sky is putting on its greatest show, silently, just for you, and asking nothing in return, but that you lie still and rest, and let its cold green fire soothe you down towards sleep. Slowly, in its own time, the aurora begins to fade the great curtains, thin and pale, and soften, drawing back toward the horizon, dimming from bright green to a faint soft glow, and then to the barest breath of light along the edge of the world. The dance is ending gently, as all things end here, without hurry, without sorrow, simply fading softly back into the dark. And as it fades, the stars come forward again, brightening in the clearing sky, countless and steady and calm, taking up the long watch of the night. And so the sky grows quiet again, and dark and deep, and the great silence of the frozen night settles back over everything, deeper and softer than before. The show is over, the wonder has passed, and now there is only the long, still, star-filled heart of the winter night, the deepest and quietest part of all, where nothing moves and nothing hurries, and the whole north lies wrapped in cold and stillness and rest. Let us drift on softly into that deep still heart of the dark and rest there at the very bottom of the year. This is the deep midwinter, now the very middle of the long night, the stillest, coldest, quietest time of all the year, the aurora, sleeps, the wind is gone, the snow lies smooth and unbroken under the stars, mile upon mile, and nothing stirs upon it. The cold has deepened until the air itself seems to have frozen still, sharp and clear and utterly silent, and over it all wheels the great, slow wheel of the stars, brighter and thicker than you have ever seen them, spilling across the black sky from edge to edge. Look up now into that sky and see the Milky Way, the great river of stars, pouring across the dark in a broad, soft band of light, made of the massed glow of more stars than there are grains of sand on all the shores of the world. Here, in the clean, cold air of the far north, far from every other light, the stars come out in their true numbers, countless, endless, blazing in the black, and the whole sky seems to press down close, and low, thick, and bright, and near enough to touch. It is so cold now, and so still, that the silence has a kind of sound to it, a deep, soft ringing in the ears. The sound of a world holding perfectly still. Your breath rises slowly, straight up, in a thin white column, into the freezing air. The snow beneath you is hard and smooth and silent. And all around, in every direction, the frozen land and the frozen sea lie hushed and pale beneath the stars, empty of all movement, deep in the profound and patient stillness of the midwinter dark. There is a peace in this deep stillness, unlike anything else in the world. It is the peace of a place where everything has stopped, where all striving has ceased, where the whole busy turning world has fallen silent and gone still. Nothing is being done here. Nothing is being chased or built or worried over. There is only the snow and the stars and the cold and the vast, deep silence, holding everything, quieting everything. At the still frozen bottom of the year, let it hold you now, and quiet you, and still you, all the way down. If the moon is up, it rides high and bright and cold, and it may not set for days, circling the sky, pouring its silver light across the endless snow. And the snow gives it back, so that the whole world glows a soft, pale silver, blue, bright enough to see for miles, every drift and hollow shining faintly, every shadow long and soft and blue. It is a strange and lovely brightness, this moonlit heart of the polar night, silver and still and silent, the whole frozen world softly aglow beneath the moon. And all across that still bright land, the creatures of the north are sleeping the hare, curled in its hollow in the snow, the ptarmigan, buried warm beneath the drift, the fox, its tail across its nose, the muskox, standing quiet in its shaggy coat, the lemming, deep in its warren, the little ground squirrel, frozen and dreaming in its burrow, and the great bear, curled around her cubs in the dark warm den beneath the snow, all of them resting, all of them safe, all of them waiting quietly for the light. The whole north sleeps and holds and waits. It does not fight the winter. It does not rage against the dark. It simply lets the cold come and the dark come, and it grows still, and it rests, and it trusts deep in its bones that the light will return, as it always has, as it always will. There is such wisdom in that, such deep, patient, trusting calm. The dark is not the end. It is only the resting, and after the resting, always comes the light. Let that trust settle into you now, warm and sure. For you are part of that great resting too, tonight. You have come all the way to the still frozen heart of the world, to the deepest, quietest part of the longest night, and here you may lay everything down and rest. As the whole north rests, trusting and unafraid, there is nothing you must do, nothing you must carry, nothing you must keep watch over. The long night holds it all, and holds you too, warm and safe in the great still dark, and asks only that you sleep. So let go now, completely, into the deep midwinter stillness. Let your body grow as heavy and as still as the snow. Let your breathing grow as slow and as soft as the sleeping land. Let every last thought drift up and away into the great starry dark and dissolve and be gone. There is only this now, the snow, the stars, the silence, the cold, clean air, and your own slow breath, and the whole vast north lying still and at peace all around you, holding you gently as you sink towards sleep. Down here, at the bottom of the year, in the deep still heart of the dark, time itself seems to slow and soften and almost stop. There is no morning pressing in, no day waiting to begin. There is only the long, patient, endless night, stretching out all around you, in no hurry to end, giving you all the time in the world to rest. You could sleep for 100 years here, like a creature in an old story, and wake to find the world just beginning to turn back toward the light. Let yourself sink all the way down now into that deep and timeless rest, down below thought, down below worry, down below the reach of the cold and the dark and the turning world, into the still deep place at the very bottom of sleep, where you are held and safe and warm and utterly at peace. The whole north has gone before you into this deep rest. Follow it now, gently, down and down, into the quiet, into the stillness, into the deep midwinter sleep of the world. And there we will rest a while, you and the whole sleeping north together, at the still frozen heart of the year, under the wheeling stars, in the great soft silence of the dark. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing at all but to breathe and rest and drift, while the long night keeps its slow and patient watch, and the light, far off, begins, very slowly, to think of returning. But that is still far away. For now, there is only the deep and the dark and sleep. Rest, now, rest. Rest here now, in the deep of it, in the still cold heart of the longest night. You have come so far, all the way from the last sunset, across the winter tundra, out onto the frozen sea, down into the singing dark below the ice, and up again beneath the burning sky. All the way to this, the deep midwinter, the bottom of the year. And here, there is nothing left to do but rest. You have arrived at the still point. You can stop now. You can let go now. You can sleep. Above you, the stars wheel slowly, slowly, around the fixed North Star, turning through the long hours as they have turned through all the long nights of the winter. They are the great, slow clock of the North, marking the passing of the deep dark hours, patient and certain and calm. And though you cannot feel it, though nothing seems to change, that slow turning of the stars is carrying you, and the whole frozen world, onward through the winter, hour by hour, toward the light that is surely coming. The stillness here is so deep, so complete, that it feels as though it might last forever, as though the world had always been this cold, this dark, this silent, and always would be. But that is only how it feels. Here at the bottom of the night, in truth, nothing lasts forever, not even the polar night. Even now, unseen, unfelt, the great wheel of the year is turning, and the darkest moment is passing. And somewhere far below the edge of the world, the sun has already begun, slowly, to climb back toward you. You will not see it for a while yet. The change comes slowly, here at the top of the world, so slowly that at first there is nothing to see at all, but it has begun. The longest night has reached its deepest point and turned and started imperceptibly back toward the light. The year has rounded its dark corner, and from here on, though you could never tell it yet, every day will be the smallest touch brighter than the one before, as the light comes creeping back across the snow. There is such quiet hope in that, such deep and certain comfort, that even at the very bottom of the darkness, in the coldest, stillest, blackest heart of the winter night, the turn toward the light has already, secretly, begun. The dark does not deepen, forever it reaches its low point, and it turns. And so it is with every dark time. Everywhere, this is the deepest truth. The North has to teach, whispered across the frozen miles. Hold on and rest, and trust the light is already on its way back to you. So rest now, deep and easy in the turning dark. There is nothing you need to do to bring the light back. It is coming on its own, slowly, surely, whether you wake or sleep, whether you watch or not. Your only task tonight is to rest and let it come and trust that it will. Breathe in, slow and deep and cold and clean, and breathe out, soft and long and warm, and sink gently into the deep, while the year turns quietly around you, back toward the sun. Time passes, how much, you cannot say, here in the timeless dark, but slowly, slowly, something begins to change in the world. It comes first to the southern sky, low down, at the hour that would once have been midday. A paleness, the faintest lifting of the dark, a deep, deep blue, where before there was only black. It is almost nothing, you could easily miss it. But it is there, and it is the first far sign of the returning sun, the first faint promise of the coming dawn. Day by day, that paleness grows. The sun is still hidden below the edge of the world, but it climbs a little higher each day toward the horizon, and its light reaches a little further up into the sky before it. And so, at midday, the southern sky begins to lighten from black to deepest blue, to a softer blue, and then, one day, to the faintest breath of color along the horizon. A thin band of dusky rose, the first color the world has seen in many long weeks. Oh, that first color, after the long months of blue and black and silver, that soft rose glow along the southern rim of the world, deepening a little each day, spreading a little wider. It is like watching the world slowly come back to life. The snow, which was blue for so long, catches that first rose, light, and blushes faintly pink at midday, and the hearts of all the creatures of the north, and perhaps your own heart too, lift a little at the sight of it. The color is returning, the sun is coming home, and with the color comes a growing light, the long twilight, which for weeks was only a deep blue dusk, begins to brighten now toward a true dawn. Each day the light lasts a little longer and reaches a little higher and burns a little warmer along the horizon. Gold now at its heart, fading up through rose and violet into the blue. The stars, which ruled the sky so long, begin to fade a little at midday, drowned out by the growing glow. The balance is tipping slowly back from the dark toward the light. All across the north, the creatures feel it coming. Deep in her den beneath the snow, the mother bear stirs, and her cubs, no longer tiny, tumble and play against her in the dark, growing strong, almost ready to face the world. Under the snow, the lemmings sense the turning year. The ptarmigan, the hare, the fox, all of them feel, in some deep and wordless way, that the great dark is ending, that the light is on its way, that the long waiting is nearly done. It comes so gently, the returning light, so slowly and so softly, that it is less like a beginning than like a waking. The world does not leap up from the dark. It stirs and stretches and opens its eyes by the smallest degrees over many quiet days, easing out of the long night, the way you ease out of a deep sleep, slowly, gently, in no hurry at all, and you can lie here and feel it happening all around you, that slow, soft waking of the world, without ever having to wake yourself. For that is the gift of it. You can be here for all of this. The turning of the year, the return of the color, the slow growing of the light. And you need not lift a finger, nor open an eye. It happens on its own, gently, all around you. While you rest, the light does not need you to bring it back. The world does not need you to turn the year. You may simply lie here, warm and still, and deeply at rest, and let the great slow dawn come up around you, slowly, and be soothed by it, and sink deeper. Each day now, the twilight burns a little brighter along the southern sky, gold and rose, and amber spilling further across the snow, lasting longer before it fades. The frozen sea, grey and blue for so long, glows now with soft warm colour at the height of the day. The ice ridges throw long soft shadows. The whole white world, so stark and cold and silent through the deep of the night, begins to soften and warm and glow as the light comes flooding slowly back across the top of the world. And still, it is not quite the sun. The sun itself is still hidden, still climbing, day by day, toward the edge of the world. But everyone knows now that it is coming. The signs are everywhere, in the growing light, the returning color, the lengthening days. The long night is nearly over, and a kind of quiet, waiting joy begins to spread across the frozen land, a held breath, an expectancy, as the whole north turns its face toward the south and waits for the first return of the sun. Let that quiet joy fill you too, softly, as you drift that sense of something long awaited, at last drawing near of a great darkness, patiently endured, at last beginning to lift of light, and warmth and colour coming home again, after the long cold night. It is one of the oldest and deepest feelings there is, this joy at the returning light, felt by every creature of the north, and by every person who has ever waited out a long darkness and seen the first light break. Let it warm you now, gently, as you sink toward sleep. The days brighten and lengthen and warm, one after another, each a little more than the last. The band of gold along the horizon climbs higher and burns brighter and lasts longer, until the sky at midday is bright with the promise of the sun, ablaze with rose and gold, the snow beneath it glowing warm and pink and amber. The stars retreat, the blue dusk lifts, and the whole frozen world holds its breath and waits for the one great moment that is now, at last, almost here. And then, at last, the day comes, the day the sun returns, after weeks, after months, after the whole long polar night. The day arrives when the sun itself, and not only its light, will climb back over the edge of the world. All along the southern horizon, the sky burns bright and gold, brighter than it has for many long weeks. The snow ablaze with warm rose light. The whole north turned toward that one bright point on the rim of the world, waiting, hushed, for the sun to rise. And there, look, low on the horizon, at the very heart of all that gold, a tiny rim of blazing light appears. A sliver, an edge, the very top of the sun, climbing back over the edge of the world, for the first time in months, laying a single long bright road of gold across the snow, straight toward you. The sun has returned. The long night is over, and the whole frozen world seems to sigh and soften and glow in the first true sunlight of the year. It lasts only minutes, that first sunrise, the sun barely clearing the horizon before it sinks again. But it is enough, the sun has come back, and tomorrow it will climb a little higher and stay a little longer, and the day after more, and more, until the light comes flooding back across the north in full, and the long night becomes a memory, and the frozen world wakes fully into the returning day. But that first thin blaze of gold, low on the winter horizon, is the promise of all of it, kept at last. All across the north, the creatures turn their faces to that first warm light on a frozen hillside. The snow of a great drift shifts and breaks, and a large cream. White head pushes out into the daylight, blinking. Aye, the mother bear, emerging at last from her long dark den, thin and hungry, but alive. And behind her, tumbling out into the dazzling white world, for the very first time, blinking in the brightness, come her two cubs, fat and fluffy and new, seeing the sun and the snow and the sky for the very first time. Picture those cubs now, in the first sunlight of their lives, tumbling and blinking and marveling in the bright cold world, while their patient mother watches over them. All through the long dark they grew, safe and warm and hidden in the den. And now they come out into a world of light and colour and endless white, ready to begin their lives upon the ice. The long night sheltered them, the deep dark kept them safe. And now the light has come, as it always comes, to call them gently out into the world. And so the great wheel turns from light to dark and back to light, from the last sunset to the long blue dusk, down through the deep midwinter and up again into the returning dawn. It has turned this way forever, and it will turn this way always, the endless patient rhythm of the far north, dark and light, rest and waking, night and day. And tonight you have travelled the whole of it, from the setting of the sun to its return. And now, gently, your journey is nearly done. But you do not need to wake into that returning day. The dawn is for the bear and her cubs, for the fox and the hare and the waking land. Your night is not over. Your rest goes on. You may stay here in the deep warm dark of your own sleep, and let that far bright northern dawn shine on without you, softly at the edge of your dreaming, while you sink deeper still into the warm and quiet dark. The sun has returned to the north, but you may sleep on, held and safe, as long as you please. So let the north grow soft and far away now. Let the bright returning day drift off to the edge of your mind and dim and fade. You have no more need to follow it, no more journey to make, nowhere at all left to go. You have come to the end of the long night, and there is nothing left to do but rest, deeply, completely, in the warm dark, while the frozen world and its slow bright dawn drift further and further away. Let the images soften and fade, one by one, gently, as dreams do. The last sunset sinking into the snow, the long blue dusk and the diamond dust falling, the white hare and the shaggy muskox and the blue-eyed reindeer, the great bear on the ice, and her cubs in the warm dark den, the narwhals rising to the leads, and the ancient shark drifting slow in the deep, the green fire of the aurora silent across the stars. Let them all grow soft and dim and drift away into the dark. You do not need to hold on to any of them. You do not need to keep any of it. Let it all go, softly, the whole long journey, the whole frozen north, and let yourself sink down. And down, below the images, below the words, below every thought, into the deep still place where sleep is whole and dark and complete. There is nothing left to see now, nothing left to do, only the warm dark and your slow soft breath and the deep quiet pulling you gently down. Feel how heavy and warm and still your body has become, how slow your breathing, how quiet your mind. The long night wrapped itself around you and carried you gently through all its cold and all its wonder, and brought you here, at last, to this deep warm stillness, this perfect rest. You are held now, as the bear cubs were held, in a warm and hidden place, safe from all the cold of the world. There is nothing that can reach you here. There is nothing you need do but sleep. The whole north sleeps its long winter sleep, and now, at last, so do you. The hare in its hollow, the seal in its snow cave, the bear in her den, the great slow whales in the dark sea, the little squirrel frozen and dreaming, deep in the frozen ground, and you, warm in your bed, deep in the warm dark, drifting down among them all. One more quiet sleeping life in the vast still north, wanting nothing, fearing nothing, doing nothing at all, but resting, deeply, warmly, completely. There is nothing left undone tonight that cannot wait for the morning, nothing you must carry into the dark. You can set it all down now, every last worry, every task, every thought, and leave it at the edge of the snow, and walk on, empty and light and free, into the warm deep country of sleep. The long night holds it all for you now. The great white silence keeps it safe, and you may rest completely, knowing that everything, in its own good time, will be well. Let the last of the waking world dissolve now, softly, like breath on the cold air, rising, thinning, vanishing into the dark. There is only the warm dark now, only the slow, soft rhythm of your breathing, only the deep and gentle pull of sleep, drawing you down and down into the still deep water at the bottom of the night, where there is no cold and no dark and no north and no journey, but only rest, whole and deep and dreamless and kind. Breathe in, slow and soft, and out, slower and softer still, and feel yourself sink the last little way down below all thought and all sound and all light into the deep warm dark, where sleep is complete. You are almost there now, almost gone, almost fully, softly, deeply asleep, wrapped in warmth, held in stillness, safe in the deep quiet heart of the night, with nothing left to do and nowhere left to go, and all the time in the world to rest. The far north lies still and white beneath its slowly returning sun, and it will keep and turn and shine without you now. The bear will raise her cubs upon the ice, the reindeer will wander the waking land. The whales will sing beneath the sea, the aurora will burn again over the snow, night after night, whether you watch or not. It will all go on, beautifully, patiently, forever. The great slow turning of the north, and you need hold none of it. You need only rest. So rest now. Let the whole bright world go on without you, far away, at the top of the turning earth, while you lie warm and safe and deep in the quiet dark. There is nothing more to see, nothing more to do, nothing more to be, tonight, but a warm, still sleeping thing in a warm, still bed, breathing softly, sinking slowly, deeper and deeper into the kind and dreamless dark. The long night has done its work. It has carried you all the way down into rest. Let each breath now carry you a little deeper, in and down, out and down, softer and slower and deeper with every breath. The snow settles, the stars wheel, the north sleeps, and you sleep with it now, at last, all the way down, in the deep warm dark, held and safe and still. There is nothing left of the day, nothing left of the journey, nothing left at all but this soft deep quiet, and your slow soft breath and sleep, rising up gently to gather you in. Rest now, rest deeply and warmly and long. The long night keeps its patient watch, and the light is coming back, slowly, surely, whether you wait for it or not, and everything, in its own good time, will be exactly as it should. But that is far away, and not yet, and not for you to carry now. For now, there is only the warm dark, and the deep still quiet, and sleep, holding you, gently, completely, all through the long and peaceful night. Let it hold you now. Let each slow breath carry you a little further from the world, in, and the north grows fainter, out, and it softens and dims, the snow, the ice, the stars, the great green light, all of it drawing away now, gently, like a shore seen from a boat that is drifting quietly out to sea. You do not have to swim back to it. You do not have to hold on. Just let it grow small and soft and far, and let the warm dark carry you on. Everything you saw tonight is sleeping now, out there in the vast white quiet, the hare and the fox and the owl, the muskox and the reindeer, the bear and her cubs in the warm dark den, the whales and the ancient shark in the black cold sea. All of them resting, all of them safe, all of them waiting, without worry, for the light. And you are one of them now, one more sleeping creature of the great, still north, folded into the same deep rest, held by the same long night. There is nothing left to keep and nothing left to carry. Let the whole long journey slip from your hands now, softly, like a loosened rope, and let it drift away into the dark. You do not need to remember the way. You do not need to find your way back. You are exactly where you are meant to be, here in the warm, deep quiet. And here you may stay and rest for as long as the night lasts, which is long and gentle and kind. Feel the warmth of your own bed holding you, the same warmth that holds the cubs in the den, the seal in its cave, the squirrel deep in the frozen ground. It wraps you softly and keeps the whole cold world safely out, and asks nothing of you at all. You are warm, you are held, you are safe. And the one last thing you know, as you sink into the dark, is the surest thing of all, that the light is coming back slowly, certainly, whether you wake for it or not. So you can let go completely now. You can sink all the way down, below the last of your thoughts, below the last soft images of ice and snow and green fire in the sky, down into the still deep water at the very bottom of sleep, where there is nothing at all but warmth and darkness and rest. The long night holds you. The returning light waits, far off and sure, and there is nothing left to do, nothing at all, but drift and breathe and sleep. Breathe in, slow and soft and deep, and out, longer and softer and slower still, and sink the last little way into the warm and dreamless dark. You are almost there now, almost gone. The north is far away, a soft white dream at the edge of the world. The night is long and quiet and kind, and sleep is rising up gently all around you to gather you in and hold you and carry you safely through to the returning light. Rest now, rest deeply and warmly and long. The far north keeps its long, slow watch without you, and the sun climbs quietly back toward its snows. And everything, in its own good time, will be exactly as it should. But that is far away, and not yet, and not for you to carry now. For now, there is only the warm dark, and your slow, soft breath, and sleep holding you gently, completely, all through the long and peaceful night. Sleep now. Drop anchor for the night. And